Today I'm bringing you guys 11 Pokemon that could destroy the world. For further clarification, I'm talking about the actual destruction of the Earth, not humanity. And by Earth, I mean our Earth, not the Pokemon world. Also, I didn't want to include too many legendaries in this list, seeing as how most of them could technically destroy the world, and I wanted to make this a bit more interesting. Oh, and one last thing. This is not a top 10, so these are not in order. I didn't want to end with this one, nor did I want to lead with it, or put it in the middle. I know this isn't a top 10, but you always have to save the best for last, and I wasn't sure if this one was the best, or the worst. Anyway, Electrode are pretty scary things. I mean, they can explode at any minute. They also don't care who they explode on. This is probably fine in the Pokemon world since we've seen them explode many times without causing too much damage, but that wouldn't be the same in our world. You see, Electrodes store their energy under very high pressure, so when they explode, you can be sure they will cause great damage. This probably isn't reflected in the anime because it's a kids show. Electrode are also very attracted to electricity, and the problem is, only a small shock is enough to set them off. Actually, its Pokédex entry in Omega Ruby states that during thunderstorms, you can see Electrode exploding everywhere, which brings me to my next point. One Electrode alone would not be enough to destroy the world, but if all the Electrodes started blowing up, they definitely could. We've seen the Pokemon world endure a lot of things, but one thing that almost destroyed it was the battle between this monster and its nemesis, Kyogre. I personally think that Groudon could destroy our world by merely being on it for a full day, if not less. This Pokemon is pretty much land itself, and what do we live on? Land. Volcanoes would erupt everywhere, earthquakes would be unmeasurable, and continents would break apart. You want to know the scarier thing though? Groudon doesn't even have to go primal for any of it. This scenario would be similar to the one with Groudon, except oceans would overflow, thunderstorms would cause massive damage, and tsunamis would destroy everything. Kyogre doesn't need to go primal for any of it either. Just a regular Blastoise can shoot water through thick steel from its cannons. It says so on its Pokédex entry from Black and White. And seeing as how its special attack increases by 50 from 85 to 135 when it Mega Evolves, I don't want to know what the Pokédex would say if it could describe Mega Evolutions. Now this is pure speculation, but I think that Mega Blastoise's cannons could be enough to end the world as we know it. If the regular Blastoise can shoot water through thick steel, imagine what a blast from Mega Blastoise would do. It can also learn Hyper Beam, so just think about that. Arceus. Do I even have to explain this one? According to Sinnoh legend, this godly Pokemon created Sinnoh and possibly the entire Pokemon universe. And if that legend is true, it can most definitely destroy our tiny world, along with our entire universe. Mega Rayquaza looks cool, and that's the only reason I'm using it instead of regular Rayquaza. Because regular Rayquaza is definitely capable of destroying the world without having to Mega Evolve. Remember Groudon and Kyogre from earlier? Yeah, this guy put them to rest. Unfortunately, I can't really explain how Rayquaza would be able to destroy our world since I don't have any examples from the Pokemon world. But if the two other Pokemon we covered, who are arch rivals, have so much respect for it that they stop fighting, I have no doubt that it could destroy our world. Dialga can travel through time. That alone could make it a target across the world. Governments would try to take control of it, causing wars, death, and ultimately the destruction of our planet. Think about it. If Dialga is enraged, who is going to stop it from completely freezing time or advancing it past the point where our planet no longer exists? Do you know how hot the surface of the sun is? 9,940 degrees Fahrenheit. But that's still not as hot as Magcargo's body temperature, which is almost double at 18,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This is obviously not a problem in the Pokemon world for whatever reason, but that wouldn't work here. Magcargo could destroy our world just by being close to it, and that probably makes it one of the most dangerous Pokemon on this list. Legend has it that Regigigas towed continents with ropes, and you know how people are. If they saw a Regigigas walking around, their first thought would be to attack it, which would not end well, at all. To be more specific, we would all die, along with the planet. I feel like we've gone through every possible scenario of how our world could end, but the entire planet freezing? Yeah, I don't think we've covered that yet. Out of all the Ice-type legendary Pokemon, Kyurem is probably the only one that can accomplish that. During Black 2 and White 2, Team Plasma froze Oplucid City with the help of Kyurem and some technology. But, that's the Pokemon world. If we've learned anything during all of this, is that the Pokemon world is a lot more resistant than ours. So I have no doubt in my mind that Kyurem could freeze our entire planet and end life as we know it. It would be happy to do it too, because it eats people. Ditto can transform into anything it sees, so that technically means anything, right? Then it would be really unfortunate if a Ditto came to Earth and decided to destroy it, because it totally could. Think about any day in your life. What do you usually see outside? The sun. If Ditto wanted to destroy the planet, all it would have to do is transform into the sun while on Earth. That alone would instantly destroy the planet. And that's it. 11 Pokemon that could destroy the world. I've been wanting to do something like this for quite some time, so I'm really glad I finally sat down and did it. The reason I chose 11 as a number is pretty obvious, and I'm going to keep it that way for future videos. That is, if this becomes a regular series on the channel, but that all depends on the feedback from you guys. So let me know what you guys think of this idea in the comments below, and let's get this video to 3,000 likes. Thank you guys for watching, make sure to click like, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.